So you're ready to become ISO or API certified and have found yourself facing the first hurdle. Who gives the ISO or API certification? Is it the ISO or the API organizations? Or you may already know that registrars give the ISO certificate, but now you have to decide which registrar to use. Don't worry, you're not alone. These are normal questions that come up when you start your ISO or API journey. For starters, only the American Petroleum Institute, or API, can provide with the API certification. Nobody else can. But for ISO certification, there's a wide range of choices. And no, the ISO organization itself is not one of them. So come on and let me give you some expert tips to ensure that you get the registrar you deserve. In this video, I will show you what you need to know about the people or organizations who will be giving your company your ISO or API certification. I will let you know what are registrars, in case you don't know that yet, who are the top registrars in the world, and which registrar should you choose. Also, stick around because at the end, I will have bonus for you, 3 bonuses regarding the registrars we recommend in our consulting firm, the ones that we use in our own certification because our consulting firm is certified to both ISO 9001 and ISO 27001, and the registrar I once worked for. Imagine you're about to board a plane for a long-awaited trip. The pilot steps out of the cockpit, smiling, very confident, but right before takeoff, you learn something very alarming. The pilot license wasn't issued by any official aviation authority. It came from some random place that had no real authority over flying safety. Suddenly, that smile doesn't look very reassuring, doesn't it? Now imagine what it means for a company to say they are certified to ISO or API standards, but the certificate was issued by just anyone. Just like you wouldn't want to trust your flight to a pilot with a fake license, you wouldn't want to trust a business with a critical product or service if their management system wasn't properly certified, would you? A genuine certification ensures they meet the strict standards for quality, for safety, environmental, reliability, whatever the standard that they are certified to. And just like a real pilot license guarantees the skill and safety of your pilot, that ISO or API certification guarantees that this company has a little better quality, environmental reliability than other companies. Because in the end, whether you're trusting someone to fly a plane or deliver a product, legitimacy and competence matters. And that's why choosing a trusted accredited registrar for your ISO or API certification is crucial. In the world of compliance, ISO or API are by far the largest management system standard developers and publishers. Yes, they do create those standards that they sell. But there's a big difference. ISO certification is provided through certification bodies, and they are commonly known as registrars. So the ISO organization is the one developing the standards and publishing, but the certificate itself is given by these certification bodies or registrars. Registrars are supposed to be independent bodies that audit your organization and verify that you are indeed complying with the ISO standards, right? API certification, on the other hand, is provided by the American Petroleum Institute themselves through their API QR registration program. While independence is the name of the game in the compliance world, it is hard to believe that there is not some element of bias in this whole process. For this reason, ISO registrars themselves, to be legitimate, have to be accredited by another body above them, which is called the accreditation body. So accreditation bodies oversee the activities, the principles, and the policies of the registrar. So typically accreditation bodies exist at the national level. For example, in the United States, it is called ANAP. In the United Kingdom, it is called UCAS, and in Germany, it is called DAC. So let's summarize. You're here, the registrar gives you the certification, but the registrars themselves have to be accredited. On the other hand now, API is a non-profit 501c6 organization. As a non-profit organization, their status allows them to focus more on the industry support rather than profit maximization, differentiating it completely from registrars who are generally for-profit organizations. So apart from those differences and similarities between ISO and API, let me tell you this, both companies want your business. So now that you know what a registrar is, let's figure out who the top accredited registrars in the world are. Drum roll in alphabetical order.
At the top of the list, we have ABS QE, the American Bureau of Shipping Quality Evaluations, usually called ABS for short. ABS QE focuses on industries like oil and gas, aerospace, manufacturing, and others, and also provides a variety of certifications like ISO 9001, 14001, 45001, etc. Their headquarters are in Houston, and their default accreditation is ANAP. Next, we have BSI, the British Standards Institution. They focus on certification for quality, environmental, information security, and also other industry-specific standards. Their headquarters in the world are in London, but in the US they are in Reston, Virginia. And so they have two default accreditation marks, ANAP for the US and UCAS for Europe and other parts of the world. Next we have BVI or Bureau Veritas, which is known for its expertise in just a diverse number of sectors such as maritime, oil and gas, construction, food and safety. Their world headquarters are in France, and amazingly their US headquarters are in Houston also. And the default accreditation marks are ANAP, UCAS and COFRAC. Next we have DMV, the Norsket Veritas. DMV has gone through some name changes, but ultimately they are back to being just DMV, and they focus on also sectors like maritime, healthcare, energy, and also serve various different ISO standards, including 9001, 14001, 45001. Their world headquarters are in Norway, but in the US, their headquarters are here also in Houston, Texas, really Katy, which is just outside of Houston. Their default accreditation are ANAP, UCAS, and also RVA. Next we have SGS, Société Générale de Surveillance, and their specialty is testing, inspection, certification, also audit across multiple industries. Headquarters are in Geneva, Switzerland, and in the US they are in Rutherford, New Jersey. And their default accreditation mark is UCAS and ANAP. And last here on our list, which is not exhaustive, obviously we're just talking about the top registrars in the world, we have TUV or TUV-SUD, which is a leader in product safety, industrial inspection, certifications, also like 9001, 14001, 45001. They are headquartered in Germany, but also in the US, their headquarters are in Massachusetts. And their default accreditation is ANAP, and of course DAX, being that they are in Germany.
There are many other registrars, but in our view, these are the main ones in the world, and as you can see, they all have a three-letter acronyms, and hence I call them the three-letter registrars. So now for the million-dollar question, which registrar should you choose for your own ISO certification? So ideally, you should aim to have 3 registrar quotes to choose from. I mean, you can have 4, 5, or more, but at least you should have 3, right, so that you can compare. Here are some points to consider when when deciding which registrar to select. First, if you have a sister or a parent company, find out what registrar they are using. Using the same registrar may make it easier for your own purchasing department, but most importantly, you should be able to ask them questions and see if they are satisfied with their performance. Number two, if you hire a consultant, ask he or she for their opinion or recommendation on registrars. But be careful, a consultant should not tell you who to use specifically, but rather just provide you with information that may help you make that decision. At Miro, for example, we are strict with our consultants in that we tell our associate consultants to provide feedback to our clients and opinions, but that the ultimate selection should rest in the client's hands. Now, the third is if you have a key customer who's actually asking you or pushing you to become ISO certified, then maybe find out who their own registrar is if they are certified themselves. Having or using the same registrar as your key customer, it may add some additional credibility, right, to your own certification. And fourth, some registrars are well known in some industries. Most registrars really operate in many industries, but so this is not really as important, but nevertheless, it could be helpful. For example, in the oil and gas industry, especially in this region, Houston or Texas, Louisiana, DMV is well known and recognized. In the information technology arena, BSI also has a leading certification, so you might want to go with them. Or in the chemical industry, ICSGS also as being a well-known registrar. So now that you have gained knowledge about what registrars are and who the top registrars in the world are, and the steps to take to choose a registrar, you should feel better equipped to actually maybe go for your certification. But you stuck around and you deserve to know the bonus information. Regarding the registrars we recommend in our consulting practice, we like registrars with a worldwide presence, especially if your company operates globally. This makes it easier to find auditors that are local to your company, because a registrar with a global footprint will have auditors all over the world, while a small registrar may only have auditors in their area, right? And that may cost you money. So if you operate in the US and you hire a registrar in the UK, it may cost you dearly if they have to send an auditor from UK to your location in the US. Now, the next answer, I guess, or bonus answer here is regarding registrars that Miro have used. There are two registrars that we have used in our own certification. When we achieved our first certification to ISO 9001 in 2012, we used BSI. And then in 2014, when we decided to expand our scope of certification to include ISO 27001, the Information Security Management System standard, well, we look no farther than BSI. They were already a registrar. And for a few years, we actually did enjoy the relationship, really good auditor. However, in 2017, we couldn't agree with BSI on reducing the audit time because we were looking for an integrated audit now that all the standards were using the common framework. But BSI didn't see it that way. And so in 2018, we decided to switch registrars and we switched to DMV. We were also able to secure a local auditor, and so it was really a win-win for us. We have been with DMV since, and we're really happy with their services. So now you might be wondering which registrar I work for. So that's an easy one. Actually, I work as a contract auditor for DMV for about 6 years. This is back several years ago. It was a great time, and actually I enjoyed it very much. I really loved it. There was a lot of travel, and it was a little hard because I was trying to grow our consulting business, but also I was raising children, so it was a little hard. But I have to say it was very, very nice. Heck of a time, really, that I spent. Made many friends with the clients as well as with the other auditors that I audited with. So that is so. And of course, as we discussed, registrars only apply to ISO because API certification is given by API only. However, bear in mind that API also gives ISO certification alone or as part details of your API Q1 or API Q2 certification. And if you're more into API and would like to know how to expedite that API certification process, then you should watch this video to learn more about how to fast-track your API application.